Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Heart. I'm your host, Chloe Trca, and I never give an intro on this podcast, but this is a podcast where we just talk about life. I talk about what's on my heart, what I'm going through as a girl in her 20s, just trying to figure out life, trying to be as healthy, happy, living for God, like just doing everything I can, and it's hard. And so I'm pretty much on here, and I just vent every single week with you guys on what I'm learning, what I'm going through, and this week I was really reflecting and I'm like, what do I feel like you guys are going through? And I get a lot of DM requests, and I love them. So keep them coming if you do that. I appreciate it because I want to share too what you guys need help on. This is my way of like giving back as well. And just getting real. And I just want to know what you guys are struggling with because I've probably dealt with it myself. And somebody DM'd me and asked about like balancing life and stuff and like work and fitness and school and all that kind of stuff. And it really made me think because it's August, school is just starting. For most people who probably listen to this are probably college age students. If not, you're probably newly into a career or just there's always new seasons of life too. And that can be intimidating, can be overwhelming, it's scary, and that's just kind of what I realized being in your 20s is life is always evolving. There's always a new chapter, there's always a new season, and it's never just really that steady. I feel like once we finally get a grip and get a grasp on like what season of life we're in, it's changing, but I think that's the beauty in life. I really do. I think it's so cool to watch ourselves evolve and grow and just walk into new chapters. I love it. I do. I'm a big fan. But one chapter that I know is a big struggle for people because it's so new and it's kind of the first time you really experience newness is going off to college, going to school for the first time, whether that's a community college or whether you're going to a big 4-year university or, you know, some people, I mean, they literally travel like across the country for school. They're far away from home. For me, I just went 45 minutes down the road to the University of Iowa. And that was still like a big shock to my system. I did a little bit of community college as well. So I feel like I've done quite a bit. And personally, I didn't love college. I'll be real. I'll tell you right off the bat, I really didn't. But I learned so much. And I feel like a lot of the reasons I didn't enjoy it was kind of like my own fault. And there's ways around it. And I want you guys to enjoy those for years because I don't think they're the best 4 years of your life. I'm going to be honest. People say that. And I'm like, if that's the best 4 years of my life, then the rest of my life is not that exciting. I think there's so much more beauty and amazing things to come in your life. But they are a very, very fun, but very like life altering 4 years. They're very important years because this is the first taste of the real world, like walking into something new, having a completely new environment, a new pace of life. You're on your own. Like it's a shock to the system. It really is. My cousin just went off to college and I was just kind of reliving that like beginning feelings and experiences. I went and watched him like scrimmage in his football. Like he plays football in college and my whole family went up when I was visiting home and we like went to go see his dorm and it seriously just brought me back and I was like, wow. And it's so fun. It's so fun. And I really did enjoy that part of college, like the newness. And I just want you guys to understand that most students there at a big university, if you're feeling alone, everyone probably feels very similar to how you're feeling. Everyone's nervous about making friends. Everyone's nervous about getting into good routines, enjoying their classes, knowing where they're going. Like, it's literally all new to everyone there. Like, it's a completely new place. It's really weird to think about, like, college, you literally go and, like, live at school. If you really think about it, if we really break it down, it's kind of an odd thing. But it's so fun because you get to be yourself. You get to be free. I think I learned so much about myself within these 4 years. And half of it, I didn't even actually go to a 4-year. I also was in college from 2019 to 2023. So the pandemic was going on. So my college was interesting because half of it was online, went back to community college. But anyway, the first thing I wanted to like kind of tell you guys and let y'all in on and my advice is to just understand that this is like your first time probably doing something this different and this out of routine, and it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be scared. Those are normal feelings, but you will adjust, and time will kind of help that. The first few weeks are probably going to be a little difficult. You're going to have unsettling feelings. You're going to be like, oh gosh, what did I do? Like, I don't like it here. Give it time and give yourself grace, okay? Because it's hard, but you will adapt. I always say if I can do it, anyone can do it because I'm a homebody. I am a big homebody. I was pretty shy back then. So a lot of the things going into like something new like this was very scary for me, but I got through it and so can you. But my biggest like piece of advice on learning how to balance everything, because it's all your responsibility at this point. And I think that's what I was like, oh gosh, like my mom isn't there to like make me dinner when I'm just too tired, I'm running late from practice, or I'm out later than I thought and I need to eat. Like you have to fend for yourself on everything. And I think that's the hardest part, because you don't have really many people to rely on. Your roommate sure is going to help you if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, best friends, like they're going to help. So one, understand that and lean on them too in these times, and let them lean on you when they need that as well. But I think the best way to kind of structure your day, I think structuring your day is so important. Like that is, I think, what helped me so much. And I always started my day out, or I didn't always do this, but what I recommend is get the hard things done first. So for me, my hard thing was working out, because it was something that I didn't like have to do, but I wanted to, and I did have to do it, but no one was forcing me to get to the gym. But I knew how good it was for my like soul and my body, and it's just good, healthy habits. So if you're like a gym person and you're nervous about this, get it done first thing in the morning. I say earlier the better, because the gym will be less busy. I went to a big university, like the University of Iowa campus is massive. There's so many students. I don't even know how many, but a lot. There's a lot of students. And the rec gets really busy, and it gets really busy at like common hours, which would be like your 8 o'clock, and then the lunch hour, 3 to like 7. It's busy a lot of the time, because student schedules are kind of craziness, like you have class and then you don't, you have it, you don't. It's not very structured throughout your day. You have to create the structure, if that makes sense. Because I mean, if you're from high school, you're used to being in school from honestly like 8 to 3, and then going to practice, and then coming home, eating dinner, doing homework, waking up and doing it again. So it's different, because you have so much more freedom. But with freedom, you have to be more disciplined, because it's not like you just have one window of time to do it. You might think you have more opportunities. So it's like, oh, I'll just go later. I'll just go to the gym after class. I can guarantee you, throughout your day, a friend's going to text you to like go grab a bite or go shopping, or there's going to be an event on campus you didn't know about and you want to go to it. And I want you to enjoy those things, because that's what makes college fun. It's so much fun to like live with all your friends and be around all these people your age and try new things. And there's like, college campuses typically do a good job at like putting on events and stuff. So it's a really good opportunity to try things, to have fun. There's like little pop-up stuff, like go enjoy those things. But it's hard when you like put your workout off until after class, because then it's like, shoot, I have to go to the gym, and then you're weighing the pros and the cons of, do I go to this or do I go to the gym? And if you just go in the morning and get it done, then the rest of the day you kind of have more available and more open. But if you are a person where it's like the hardest thing for you to do is get your homework done, wake up and do it right away. Like get that stuff done right in the morning before class. Like say, I feel like most students, I took 8 a.m.s because I'm a morning person and I loved getting it done. I was crazy. My college years were literally insane. I don't know how I did it. I was on a grind hustle, moving and grooving. I would literally have an 8 a.m. and I'd go to the gym before. And I would commute 45 minutes. I would literally wake up at like 4 a.m. I was crazy. But it worked, and it's how I made time for everything in my life, and it's how I created balance. Sure, I was in bed by like 10 o'clock, but so was most people in my life, because I hung around people who had similar lifestyles as me. So I really recommend doing what you think is going to be the hardest part of your day, whether that's working too. Like if you have a job, another thing I did, part-time jobs. I didn't work my freshman year, but I did work my junior, senior, or sophomore, junior, and senior year. So my 3 years following, I did work. And I got a job at a gym, and I worked the morning shift, you guys. And that might seem crazy. And I know if you're not a morning person, but it was so nice, because it wasn't nice when my alarm was going off at 3:45 in the morning, but getting to work and starting my shift at 4:30 and being off at 8, I had my whole day still, and then I could go do all those things. I had time to go to the gym after class if I needed to, or honestly, a lot of the times I'd work and then work out and go to class. But it just worked out so well, because I got the hard stuff done first thing in the morning, and then I didn't have to think about it all day. It opened up opportunities to go do fun stuff. And two, in college and at this point in your life, this is going to be maybe not the first time, but it's going to be, for me, it was the first time where I realized like life is gonna life, and things come up, and things were coming up a lot more, and I was getting overwhelmed. And that's when I really learned the lesson of like, get the important stuff done first, and then it allows you buffer room for the rest of your day. And it just kind of, it leaves you room for error, especially if you forgot about something, you forgot about an assignment, there's an extra credit opportunity, or again, like I said, friends are getting together. Life is gonna life, and there's gonna be things that come up. So if you can just cross off like the must-dos right away, whether that's working out, homework, whatever it is, get it done as early as you can in the day, you'll thank yourself. I promise your future self will thank you when that thing comes up and it's like, oh, I already got it done, we're good. That was kind of a long one, but I started with that one because I think it's the most important, and I truly want you guys to understand that and take that into consideration because it will benefit you. It really will. Another thing that I recommend, and this is something I kind of often forgot to do throughout school, don't neglect self-care, especially girls. I think most girls are listening. Self-care is so important to us, whether that's getting your nails done or just doing a face mask or a hair mask, or I don't know if you go really fancy crazy and get like massages or facials, or even just going on a long walk with a podcast and just doing something for yourself. Don't neglect that. I did, and I think that was a lot of the reasons where I just like didn't feel like myself. I was always kind of stressed out because I didn't take time to just like be a girl and like decompress, and self-care is a great way to decompress. And I don't know, I just wish I would have done like more face masks, more hair masks, like more spa nights, or like, and those are things that you can do with your friends too. It can be like a fun night with your roommate and you guys just chill, order takeout, and like do a face mask, watch a movie, and have a girls' night. You can do that on a Tuesday night. Like you can do that whenever. And I think that's the fun part about college is like it's a sleepover every single night with a friend. It's so much fun. It's so funny I'm saying it's so much fun because I actually hated college, but it really can be if you do the right things. So don't neglect self-care because you're gonna need that because school's overwhelming, exams are stressful, you're gonna have a lot on your plate, especially if you're working part-time jobs and you're trying to like maintain a fitness like regimen and routine, and it's a lot. You'll have a lot on your plate, but make sure you carve out time. It can be once a week, but just give yourself some time to do something to treat yourself and to take care of yourself because that's important. The next thing I recommend is schedule in the little things. I'm a huge like list person. Every morning I still do this on my notes app. I do like the little circle and I can like check it off if you know what I'm talking about. And I write out my day. I write it in order and I'll literally write it from like hour to hour. So say I woke up at 6 a.m. It's like 6 a.m. Bible journal, 6:30 change, 7 o'clock get ready and go to like drive to the gym, 7:15 to like 9 o'clock or whatever it is, gym. Like it was down to the minute. I would schedule in my showers, schedule in like the time it takes to commute to class if you're taking like the CAM bus or you're walking or whatever. Like literally schedule in everything. It will just like, at least for me, it released so much stress and anxiety because I felt like I had control over my day and I knew what was to come and I knew I could accomplish it if I carved it out and gave myself time. It just keeps you too like kind of efficient and productive throughout the day. And this is huge too for like homework and making sure you're getting your study time in and your homework time in, because a lot of times assignments take a lot longer than you think and you're going to be doing it and it's going to be late, and it's just the worst thing is trying to finish an assignment and it's like 10:30 and you're falling asleep and you're just absolutely miserable. Like try to plan it. Like I said, get the hard stuff done at the beginning of the day. I would just schedule in, like once you get more into the semester, I feel like assignments are typically pretty routine. At least like in my math classes and stuff, it was like the same thing every single week, just different chapters of like, there was like these little online quiz things we had to do. But I could pretty much predict how long it would take every single week because it was very similar every single week. So once you kind of get an idea of that, it's easier to schedule those into your day because you can kind of give yourself an allotted amount of time. But do that. Like schedule in the shower, schedule in the workout, schedule in cooking your meals. Like just understand how long it's going to take, because I feel like especially as freshmen, you probably don't realize like how long a lot of those things take, and it can be really overwhelming. But this is a great way too to just like ensure that you're going to go to the gym, because if you schedule it in, you're much less likely to skip it, or something important like reading your Bible. Like you see it on the list and you'll feel guilty like not doing it. So you're much more likely to do it and get that task done if you write it down and schedule it into your day. And if you have to kind of like obviously like modify it throughout the day because your day is not going as planned, that's okay. But at least you still have a schedule and something to follow throughout your day. Again, structure is huge when you are in like a new environment. So that's a great thing to do. The next thing that I recommend is study in places other than your dorm room, whether this is like the commons area in the dorm room, in the library, at a coffee shop, at a cafe, at your friend's dorm. Like, get out of your little room because it's tiny. You're going to go crazy. You're pretty much like in there all the time, and it's the smallest confined space ever, and you will begin to hate it. You will begin to fall asleep. Like, make your like dorm kind of like your sacred space, okay? And don't do things that you hate there. Like, do things that you enjoy doing in your dorm. And so there's so many places across campus, and I think it's a good way just to like get out, meet people. Change of scenery is really good for you. And a lot of even like buildings, like the math building or the science building or whatever, is going to have like a commons area. Study in there, do homework in there between classes. A lot of times, because I commuted, I would drive to campus, and then I didn't have a dorm or an apartment anywhere near, so I had to go find these spots. And you kind of find your like favorite little corners and favorite little spots. So many different spots. Like at the University of Iowa, I was like in the business school, and the Papa John like business building had like the coolest commons area for like business students, and I loved it. So I'd go there a lot and study and even work, because I worked from myself at this point. I'd go and like edit in between classes and stuff. So find a little spot that you can regular and study and work there, because you'll be so much more focused too when you're not sitting in your dorm. It is so hard to stay focused because your roommate's going to walk in, you're going to see something, you're going to start snacking, you're going to start doing, you'll find a million other things to do other than your homework or studying or whatever. So do that. Like, I still do that to this day for my work because I work from home now. It's a very similar thing. And a lot of times I have to like get up and go to the commons area, go to a coffee shop, or just get out of the house because it's refreshing and it's good. But definitely do that. And like I said, do it with a friend. Like, find a friend and go study together if you have a class together, or even if you don't, be like, hey, do you want to go to the library together? Because maybe you don't want to go alone, that's fine. But they probably have something to do as well, so you both can go together. And that goes into my next one, is find friends in each class. So I'm very shy. I'm much more outgoing now, and I'm much more confident to like go up to someone. But prior, back in my college days, you guys, I've been graduated for like, has it been 2.5 years? Well, no, it's been 1.5 years. I think I've been out of college for 1.5 years, because I graduated in December. So that's the half is coming in. It's probably weird. But, I was so nervous and scared to like make friends in class. And because again, I didn't really live on campus, I wasn't in a sorority, I wasn't really involved, I didn't know that many people, but I still was able to always find like 1 or 2 girls in my class that exchange numbers, exchange Snapchats, and exchange Instagrams, do something right off the bat, because you're gonna have questions in class and you're gonna be confused on due dates, assignments, homework. Have a person to go to ask questions, because they probably know someone else too. In case like you guys don't know, it just extends your network, and it's so helpful. I loved when business classes were huge on this. I don't know about other studies, but we always were doing like team projects and stuff. So I had like 5 people I could always ask, and it was so helpful. And then too, within my business classes, as I got into like my higher years, you start to recognize people, because everyone kind of has to take the same classes in college. In like the business marketing world, I started frequently seeing the same people. And so it was nice to see familiar faces, already have their number, or if they already took a class previous, you can ask them about a class you're in. Just network and make friends, because it will be so helpful. So helpful. But again, like first couple of days of class, like sit down next to someone you think you might get along with, chat it up, and then next week be like, hey, can I get your number in case I have questions? They're not going to say no. They're probably thinking the same thing. They're probably scared to ask you. So just be that person to ask. And it's a great way, again, to like make a friend. But do that, because I didn't really do that. And I wish I would have more. So, because I did by the end, but not right away. Another thing, people always fear like meal plans, and I don't know. This is hard because I chose a dorm that was like a suite. It was like an apartment like dorm. So it was like a dorm, and then we shared a kitchen and a bathroom with 2 other girls who were like on the other side. So it's like suite style. So I got like the smallest meal plan possible because I had a kitchen in my dorm room. Ended up actually hating that decision because I was so far off campus. These dorms were so far. If you went to Iowa, if you're listening and you're an Iowa student, I was in Mayflower. That was yonder across campus. I had to take the CAM bus everywhere. It was so awful. I did not like it at all. So I wish I would have just sucked it up and lived in like a crappy dorm on campus and how to eat a meal plan at the dining hall. But honestly too, I'm like, everything happens for a reason. And if I would have, I probably would not be where I am today. So grateful for it. But everyone gets really intimidated because they're like, oh, the freshman 15, like you're eating like dining hall food. And it is a little maybe scary for some, but my recommendation, I have a few when it comes to this, is just stick to what you know. Stick to whole foods, stick to normal things. If you're a healthy eater, they have healthy options. They do. They might get kind of sick, so you're going to have to get you might get kind of sick of them. So you might have to get creative over time. But honestly, y'all, I cook for myself. I pretty much eat the same food every single day. Protein oats for breakfast. Lunch, I usually eat rice and chicken or beef and chicken, and dinner is the opposite. I eat very similar meals most days. So it's I don't think you really will get that sick of it. But just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. A protein, fat, and a carb in every meal. And just, I think too, going in with a mindset of not being panicked is healthy. I think when we overwhelm ourselves, that's when the issues arise, is when we overthink it. But if you go in with confidence, oh, I got this, it's not a big deal. I know how to handle this. I know how to eat and create a meal. Go in with that mindset. Go in with a mindset. It's only for a year and then you can cook in your kitchen. But another thing too is to just always stock your dorm if you're a freshman or in your apartment, whatever. Have healthy food there available, because you're going to be going a lot. You're going to be on the go. It's from class to class. You're kind of moving and grooving. Honestly, you're not in your dorm a lot. I feel like when I was in college, I was once classes started for the day, I was kind of on campus between buildings and stuff and in commons areas until I was done for the day. So pack healthy snacks, whether this is beef jerky, this is a protein bar, a protein shake, cut up some fruit or veggies and throw them in a Ziploc bag. Literally anything simple, quick, popcorn. I always had snacks in my bag. I always had snacks for people. I always prepped a lunch. I would make a cold lunch for myself and bring it onto campus for me during the middle of the day. I had a whole series on TikTok about it, and I would eat lunch in my car. But do that and you will be fine. You will thank yourself, because then too, it allows you to not go run to Chipotle and spend $10 on lunch, or, eat something maybe not so healthy and cave in. If you have food available with you, it rids of that possible risk of having to spend money or eat crappy and make yourself feel crappy. So just come prepared. Always have healthy snacks on you. If you have them in your dorm, you'll eat them. But if you stock your dorm with crappy snacks, you're going to eat them. I'm telling you, if it's sitting in front of you, you're probably going to eat it, especially in a confined space. Okay. So stock it with healthy foods, and it's very important. Another thing too, not to forget, is hydration. I was probably severely dehydrated all the time in college. I never drank water. Always have a water bottle. We had a Brita pitcher in our fridge. Have water with you. Get a Brita water bottle, because the water probably isn't great out of the drinking fountains. Get that and stay hydrated, because that is so important. And I just think we forget that. Get an electrolyte supplement, take that in the morning, stay hydrated as much as you can, please. So another tip is for the weekends. I know a lot of students go into college and they're a lot of you guys, a lot of my listeners, I feel are very similar in this. It's, you're not really in the party scene and you're nervous about it. And I get that, because that was also me. I don't really drink anymore. I don't say I don't, because there may be a circumstance where I have a glass of wine or I have one drink, but you will not catch me out in the bars going hard like I did once. I did used to do that, and I absolutely would never do that anymore, because that's just not my personal choice, and I don't like who I am in that scene, and I know that. But I think throughout college I was discovering this about myself, but I didn't realize it until I got out of it, and I was yeah, that's why I got anxious when I was drinking. That's why I hated being in those environments. That's why I felt dark and in my opinion, they're dark. The bar scenes are dark. They're demonic. Lots of not good stuff comes out of it. And so I chose, and now I very much so actively choose not to put myself in those environments. But there are people who don't go out. Find those people if you don't want to go out. I promise, I went into college with a lot of similar friends from high school, and we came out of high school kind of partying together and then went into college partying together. And I think I was so miserable in college that I looked forward to Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night going out. There was a point where I would go out 2 or 3 times a weekend. That's crazy. That's crazy. That was my first semester, freshman year though. That was it. And I think it was because I was so excited, and everyone built up this like whole persona that that's what college was. It's like partying and drinking. And even my university, like the academic people who worked for the university, like I remember freshman orientation, they were like cracking jokes about drinking and like partying. And I'm like, why are we normalizing this so much? Like it shouldn't be normalized. That irks me. It irks me then even. And I wasn't even that like to the point where I am now. So I don't know. It doesn't need to be normalized. Okay. You don't need to go become drunk that many times. Like just nothing ever good came out of it. And the people that I met there were never like genuine real friends that I like kept. Like it's really not a great place to meet people. Like go to a workout class, go to some club hosted event, go to like there was a thing called SALT, the University of Iowa put on. It was like a young adults night for like Christians. I started going to that literally after I graduated college. I wasn't even a student and I had started going. But so many other opportunities to meet people. I think the gym for me was like the best place to meet people in like a workout class. Me and a girl that I met online prior to college, she was like a fitness girl, and we would go do like a HIIT class together like once a week. And then I started meeting people in there, and it's like meet those type of people rather than thinking you have to go out to like the bars. If you want to, that's your choice. Go for it. But if you're on the fence like I was and knowing that's really not what you wanted, but you felt like you almost had to, you don't have to. It's okay. You are not missing out on the college experience because you don't want to go get drunk on the weekends, okay? It's okay. There's so many other things that you can do that will bring you so much more happiness and joy and fulfillment and peace. You will wake up feeling great. You will just enjoy college more. Truthfully, I always say this. I don't think I've really ever been depressed other than my first semester in college. And that's because I've looked back now and I'm like, well, duh, I was drinking 2 or 3 times a week. I didn't like the classes I was taking. My workout routine was weird. I didn't have that many friends, wasn't going to church anymore. Like there were so many things in my life that it just makes sense. So it's like hold on to those things that you love and you care about and stay true to yourself and don't like mold into like the classic freshman college student. Like you don't have to eat like crap and miss out on hours of sleep. Like you don't have to be sleep deprived, hungover, anxious, tired, and broke. Like I think everyone like assumes that's a typical college student. It doesn't have to be like that, and it's not like that. It's just because everyone normalizes all of the habits that create those realities, okay? And like we don't need to normalize that. Like you can wake up early and go to the gym, and you can eat healthy in the dining halls, and you can not go out on the weekends and find friends who don't. Like you can still go have fun Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday night, do whatever you want, but it doesn't have to be getting blackout drunk at a bar. It doesn't. Like there's so many other things to do. And the reason I'm being so fired up is just because like I know the importance of that, and I know how much it would have changed my experience in college if I would have truthfully like did it. Like I knew that, but I didn't actually live it out, and I wish I would have. Because the second I moved home, my whole everything switched. I started working in a gym. My routine was so good. I was waking up earlier. I wasn't partying. Like I think I went out one time. I made like a rule with myself, and I'd go out once a month, like one night a month. Yeah, so going from like 10 to 12 nights a month to one, substantial difference. And I was working, I was making money, I was feeling good, like I was in a good routine. I wasn't going to church yet, but I wish I would have. That would have even more benefited me, but I'm just telling you, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. College doesn't have to be what they say it is. Anyway, moving on because I'm getting fired up and I don't want this to be like I'm yelling on the podcast. Get involved. Again, that's a great way to meet friends. There's going to be all these weird little like events that you can go to, networking events, little like taco night things. They'll have like tacos somewhere. Go to those things and just drag a friend with you and try to meet another friend. Take workout class. Like my rec center had like free classes. They were like the HIIT classes, or they were like a spin cycle class. There's different fitness things you can do. Go to those, meet people there. Like workout classes are such great spots to meet people, truthfully. So get involved in that. Do those things. Don't just sit in your dorm and think you're too cool for it, because that's kind of what I did, and I regret it because I didn't really meet that many people in college, and I wish I would have. And now, like being in a new city, I kind of feel like I'm that new girl again, and I have gotten involved in stuff, and I've met so many great people. So I've been on like both sides, I feel like a little bit, so I can testify. But just get involved because I really never did, and I do regret it. And like I said, workout classes are a great way to be social. Prioritize your sleep. That's the next thing. Prioritize your sleep. Again, like I said, everyone kind of normalizes college students just being exhausted all the time and being sleep deprived. Yeah, but if you make the right schedule, like you'll be able to handle it all, and just kind of be strict on yourself with going to bed when you need to go to bed and waking up when you need to wake up. Like at least Monday through Friday, set yourself, even Monday through Thursday, Sunday night through Thursday, like set a sleep routine. Be like, okay, I need to be in bed by 10. I need to be asleep by 10:30 if I'm going to be up by 6. Like set those numbers in your head and try to stick to them, because you will feel so much better. I've learned as I've grown and matured how important sleep is. It is in recovery. It's going to help you with studying. It's going to help you just feel alive. Sleep is important, and you're going to need all the recovery you can get, because college is very demanding. Like you're just busy. You're busy all the time. So get your sleep. Another thing I recommend is just documenting it. College is so fun. Take the pictures, take the videos. Like I think it's so fun to look back on that kind of stuff. That's like kind of a simple random one, but just I feel like a mom, document it. And then another one is give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. All of this, like I said, it's so new. Even if you're a junior, it's still going to be new. You still have new classes. You're in a new season of life. You might have a new like part-time job. You might have a new apartment. Like it's a new something every single year. It's a lot of change, and every like year is kind of like a new season. Like freshman year, it's all new, and it's just like getting into it. Sophomore year, it's getting real. You're kind of meeting your friends, but you're no longer in the dorms. You're living in an apartment, and I feel like you feel even more adultish. Junior year, you're starting to like consider jobs and look for jobs and do all that, and then boom, it's senior year, and you probably are really applying for jobs, and you're thinking about like the future and what next year holds, and kind of reflecting on like the fact that how much you've grown and like how much is to come. And senior year is like really like it's a lot, like mentally like overwhelming, because it's like holy cow, that flew by, and then it's holy cow, I'm gonna be a full-blown adult making my own money. I'm telling you, if you can get through college, you can get through adulthood. You really can. I promise. But just give yourself grace through this, because it's gonna be stressful. There's going to be times where you're happy and loving it. There's going to be times where you're sad and overwhelmed and stressed and want to quit. Just give yourself grace and give yourself the downtime when you need it. Go out and do more. Like get out of your dorm, get out of your apartment, say yes, go do the fun stuff, but don't think you have to go. Like I said, do the stereotypical party, drink, don't sleep, eat like crap things that college students do. Like it doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. It wasn't for me my last couple years, and it was significantly better. And I want you guys to enjoy these years, because like I said, they're so important and so critical, and you will grow so much every single year. I look back, I'm like, wow, like I, as a person, learned so much about myself. I grew so much. It's really an exciting time. It's like I said, it's the first time you're on your own, you're adulting, you're kind of figuring yourself out and learning about yourself. So enjoy it. And if you guys have any other questions on this, shoot me a DM. Those were kind of the basics that I wanted to cover. Anyway, if you are a freshman or you're in college or wherever you're at in life, I wish you the best of luck going into this new chapter, because I know, again, lots of students are starting right now, so I know it's that time of year. But I love you. I'll pray for y'all, and I will talk to you next week. Bye, guys.